Hey Fernanda, how are you? How's everything in Spain today? Hey Dolly, how's John doing? Hey Stu. Oh, Barcelona. Gilbert's, Illinois, all right. Love the state of Illinois. I lived there for 13 years. It's one giant state. Spend your whole vacation heading south. Carbondale. Hey Letha, how you doing? Hey Sassy. Hey Pauline. That sucks going to work. That's not right. Especially when he was at his worst and working already. You get no break. Oh, thank you, Heidi. I lived actually downtown, but I was doing private detective work at the time, and I was licensed in Indiana, Illinois, Michigan, and Wisconsin. So you realize what a big state Illinois is. So everywhere, all the time. I barely dodged two tornadoes down there over the years. That's a long way south of Chicago. People don't realize what a long state Illinois is. Hey, Diane. Dog's great all the time. She didn't want to automatically hop over to the passenger seat, though, when I went to pay for my coffee, so no wonder, do. I think she's pissed that she doesn't get a little dog bone at this Starbucks. I'm sorry, hon. I make it up to you. Hey, Craig. How you doing? Yeah, well, you know what I mean. That's a long drive, man. Carbondale. They ought to make it a different state. It's a crazy area around there. Other than the college, you'd think you were in the movie Deliverance. You talking about Jones Tyson? Yeah, it's really depressing about Raven. Yeah, she's a sweet girl. I would say I feel better about it in the sense that just from, I mean, it's a moot point now, but just my opinion, I just think Raven, she was molested as a kid, molested in foster care, topless dancing, got out there and was just in really deep, and in her mind didn't have anywhere to go. Maddie is an absolute sweetheart. You'll never meet a better demeanor and a decent person that somehow stays in a good mood no matter what. Maddie is a sweet, nice person. Yeah, what you see is what you get with Maddie. Isn't this weather crazy? I was thinking over my tire situation tomorrow. Bell Tire, I want to get where I can get rotations free. Bell Tire's got a Black Friday special that goes through Monday. And I'm thinking of just getting all weather. I do need some front end work here, which I would get done if they could do it all in one day. But on the other hand, I don't want to get stuck in my hotel room with nothing to do for a solid day. We're supposed to get a little snow here tomorrow. No big deal. I haven't talked to Becky. I think she's a little pissed off at me, which happens from time to time. Yeah, the problem with that tire company is, I'm on the road a lot. I need to be a place where I can get the tires rotated, no charge, without waiting in line 3 hours when I go there, like Discount Tire. They claim you can go to any facility. Yeah, try it. You better go to the one that you bought them from, and even then it's like pulling teeth. So Bell Tire can't be any worse. Yeah, Sherry's a sweetheart. You know, it's funny. I've been, I was in Illinois like 13 years and working a lot. And, I have no interest in going back there. It's weird. I think you live downtown. I mean, that gets old after a while. Traffic's a pain in the ass. But I had great times in Illinois. I'm glad I did it. But I just don't have any interest in going back. Yeah, I listened to a bit of that suit. That just shows you what a clown fest it was. I mean, I really felt embarrassed for the both of them. I learned that in sports myself. You're a bad evaluator of your own demise as you age with regard to staying in shape and all the associated things that come with it. And in their minds, they actually thought that they could, pull it off to make it look like something that would be interesting. But at that age, particularly with boxing, forget it. Yeah, a lot of people are leaving Southern Cal, man. You better really check that out. There's more people leaving California than any other state, I think. A lot of them are, heading out to Montana. And believe it or not, there's quite a few people leaving California to move to Traverse City, Michigan, believe it or not. Yeah, I see it was like really cold in southeast Georgia. And they got flurries in Texas someplace. I mean, the weather's crazy, man. It's nice here today. A little overcast, so it won't be as warm. Oh, Crystal Lake, yeah. You ever eat at that Blue, whatever it is, that restaurant up near there, the Blue something? It's right up around Crystal Lake. They have good breakfast. Yeah, taxes are insane, yeah. Well, it wasn't that long ago when Illinois couldn't even pay off the people that won the lottery. They didn't have the money. You want to see some insane taxes? Go to Ann Arbor, Michigan. Their taxes are just nuts. Hey, Brittany. Hey, Daisy. How you doing? Yeah, sure. Well, I guess not. No, Crystal Lake, the one up at the top of Illinois. It's getting a little cool out with the, yeah, Crystal Lake, Illinois, yeah. Remember when that cop faked getting shot? Said that people were chasing him? That was up around there. And the whole deal was him embezzling money and stealing money. And he made up a big story about black guys shooting him. Hey, Sue. Yeah, it's a good idea for that Christmas. I'll tell you, I've noticed that over the years anyway, but as far as Christmas lights, man, I hardly see any of them at all. Very rarely, man. Not many. Hey, Michael. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, sorry about that, man. Oh. Well, I've got some Narcan I'd have given you. Good job, Superwoman. You were on it more than me. I was going to be a little easier going the first thing in the morning. But you're right, actually. I don't know. It was a good call on your part. Hey, Ronnie. Oh, thank you. Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you. And the Narcan. Was that you that got rid of her, or was it Superwoman? Whoever did it, so it's the right move to make. I was just a little like reticent this early in the morning. I know she's got health problems, and honestly, I think she's a young, innocent girl, but she's going to learn that affiliating with that lunatic, and it's one thing to go on there and not know anything. It's another thing to be a moderator on her channel. So best of luck to you, Daisy, but we don't want you over here. Hey, Jersey girl, you're not this Jules Jersey or whatever it is, are you? Under another name? Because if you are, you got to go too. Yeah, I spent a lot of time in Napanee, actually. Used to really be into antiques. I've got like photos of the Amish I took back there, geez, 25, 35 years ago. Hey, Linda, how you doing? Oh, only available in... Yeah, I bought a book on that, actually, The Politics on Narcan, which I haven't read yet. Oh, congratulations, Heidi. Yeah. It's, unless you're around it a lot. Oh, Amish Acres, yeah. Who owns that place now? Are they still running the thing? It used to not be owned by Amish at one time. I went there with a girlfriend one time, like 40 years ago, and we stayed at Mennonite's house. And they didn't find out we weren't married until the next morning. Oh, that's interesting, Shannon. Oh, okay. I noticed that I ate at P.F. Chang's last night. I noticed that Barnes & Noble was actually closed at 8 o'clock. You'd think they'd cut these people some slack around a bad time of the year, holiday season. You're a damn retailer and you're closed at 8 o'clock on a Saturday night. I don't agree with this limited hour stuff. I think it crams more people in a shorter time period. If you want to, not have a bunch of people standing in line next to each other, leave it open 24 hours. Yeah, Fort Wayne, Linda. Oh, okay, Stacy. The P.F. Chang's was good. It wasn't the best, but it was good enough. Had a nice waitress. I asked her what happened when that whole thing went down. Everybody just bolted out of there and nobody paid, of course. They got stuck with all that food they brought out. None of the waitresses got tips. Place got stuck with making all those dinners. Oh, P.F. Chang's way better. Yeah, I don't really get a P.F. Chang's in this market. I mean, that's some, I don't say it's like the most complicated cuisine, but I do know they struggle to find chefs at their locations. It's got to be a nightmare running one of those. And I went in there about 7:30 last night, and it wasn't that busy. And the mall was still open. I kind of felt bad for them. It's a beautiful restaurant. I mean, you go inside, the design and the money that it must have taken to set that up. But a lot of people standing around, nothing to do, all this 50% occupancy stuff. I really felt bad for him. I haven't seen Ginger lately, to tell you the truth. Yeah, actually, I did just exactly what I said I did. I paid my waitresses tips. I paid her Saturday tips for. Yeah, I'm gonna get with Tassie today and get an update. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, PF Chang's is not an easy place to run, and I know that just being on the road, and I've been this way my whole life, and you can see the difference in the good ones from the other ones. Like that one when I was at down in Indianapolis, that's an affluent upper end area. It's busy as hell all the time. You can afford to pay a guy a good salary to stay. And if you can't have a guy that knows what the hell he's doing around there all the time, it's a tough thing to run. Hey, Amethyst, how you doing? Yeah, Tassie's. I'll get that. I mean, she's struggling a little with her rent. You know. I would say this that PF Chang's was good, not great. They didn't do the Brussels sprouts right. They're not supposed to be in a thing like that. They're supposed to be on a flat plate. No big deal. They were still good. I mean, they probably had 5 times the amount of calories that they should have had because of the way they served them. And the shrimp was a little off. If you looked at it compared to the Kung Pao shrimp I had at a PF Chang's a week ago, you can see the difference looking at it. I'm not complaining. It's just, like I said, it's not easy to run one of those. Well, you can't. That's why I left Kentucky. No more indoor dining. To a guy like me, I mean, here I am traveling to different states so I can eat. Hey, Mary. Yeah, I'll find out about that, Amethyst. Yep. Oh, Murfreesboro. Yep, been there quite a few times. I've been thinking about like maybe going on the outskirts of town a little bit today. I'll tell you a funny thing happened to me yesterday. I pitch everybody about an interview, so there's 2 guys sitting across like from the hotel, and they look like guys that had been on the road for a while. So I went up and said, "Hey, do you guys be interested in doing an interview?" It's not like, nah, not really. That's like, okay. So there's a guy standing in the median, like here, on a busy intersection. And he sees me there, and he waves over, and he said, yeah. I said, "Hey, would you be interested in doing an interview?" And he said, "About what?" So I said, "Well, I travel around, I talk to people." And he said, "I'm camera shy." It's like, okay, well, then you probably won't want to do an interview, And I could tell when I was there talking to the guy, actually a super bright guy, and he wanted to talk. He didn't want to do an interview. He needed the $10. And my take on it, and I could be wrong, was that he was just lonely. And we talked for probably 20 minutes. Nice guy, man. Really a sharp guy. He had some interesting takes on COVID. And as I was walking away, he kind of followed me, wanted to talk some more. And I thought, man, this poor guy, he's probably out here, We didn't really talk about his past that much. So I said, well, here's $10. Go get something to eat. He said, but I didn't do the interview. I said, no, you don't need to do the interview. I said, there are exceptions. I said, it's not worth $10 if you have anxiety on camera. Forget it. He said, well, that's really nice of you, man. He said, I think I should do the interview now. And I said, well, no, you don't want to do the interview. He said, I don't. I said, well, it's not that big a deal. It's $10. Go get something to eat. It's a holiday. It's no problem. And he followed me because I walked over from the hotel. There's no way you could pull over there. But a hell of a nice guy. He just, he was really caught in kind of a catch-22. He needed the money. He enjoyed a conversation, but he didn't want to be on camera. That's never really happened to me before. Oh, sorry about that, Diana. Wow. Yeah, you're right. Probably super lonely. It was actually a great conversation. We had a good time talking about all sorts of stuff. He wanted to talk about everything. Oh, I hate those wind turbines. Yeah, I did. Yeah, he's a really good guy, man. I learned a long time ago. I mean, you guys know this if you watch the interviews. Uh, it's you, you you know, it's hard not to stereotype sometimes because if you see 1,000 instances and they're all the same, why wouldn't you think that was going to happen again? It doesn't mean it's discriminatory or you're a bad person. It's just 1,000 circumstances in a row and it's all the same. Why wouldn't you think that was going to be in 1,001? But I learned a long time ago when I interview people like this just randomly, it's, I want to say, refreshing and interesting on the movies they pick and the books they've read. Yeah, it's really interesting. Like Emmanuel, the guy in Toledo, just a super sharp guy. I think if nothing else, people realize there's a fine line between getting a felony on your record, being out in the street with no place to live, and being super sharp and just a stone's throw away from running a company someplace. That guy has all the skills you need to be successful. It's just he had a bad break in the road. Now he's got to deal with this felony bullshit. And he is out there sleeping under tarps. You don't need me to tell you, but, I was out in Montana. I cut through all those western states. Now I'm down in Indiana. I was down in Kentucky. Just from what I do, this homeless issue is a big deal. And it's getting worse. Something's got to be done about this, man. We're heading third world. Well, homeless, as it turns out, and I didn't know this. Somebody told me this the other day, that the definition of homeless is not having a private place to sleep, which is a pretty good definition if you think about it. So you can be staying in a shelter and still be technically homeless. I mean, can you imagine the stress that must be, just like going into a place at night? You got to turn off your phone. You're on a cot. This COVID bullshit. There's 100 people there. All the lights have got to be out. It'd be like going to like a Boy Scout camp with military rules. I mean, you know why Marguerite and some of these people say they'd rather be on the street than in a facility? I get it. Oh, Schaumburg. That's a nice area. I used to go, Schaumburg had a good Chinese restaurant there. I mean, I'm sure they have many of them, but I remember going out there. Oh, did you, Susan? Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people, there's a lot of people I see living in hotels now. Motels. Yeah, it's kind of the way it is. I think, these lodging facilities are struggling too. So I think if somebody can come up with $50 or $60 a night, back in the day you wouldn't have rented a room to the homeless. A lot of places. Well, now it's like a source of income, and it's like they probably think if they take care of the room and it's decent, that they pay the bills. Why not? I mean, everybody's struggling out there. Yeah, Nomad, yep. Hey, Mark, how you doing? Yeah, maybe it wasn't a P.F. Chang's, I don't think, that I went to. It could have been, but this was when I first got to Chicago. I met some girl at Borders Books, and she lived out there, and I went out there and had dinner with her. Schaumburg. I took the train. It was near the train station. Not far from this train station. Oh, well, thank you, Amethyst. Oh, I bet staying in a shelter was brutal. Yeah, I bet you're right about that. Like I said, there's plenty of people doing what I do and way more. You look at those food truck people down in Detroit. You talk about like warriors for the privileged. These people are spending 8 and 10 hours a day for nothing, handing out food to people during a tough time. I mean, what I do is like nothing compared to plenty of people out there. The only difference is, like, you see what I do because I upload a video, but there's people doing a lot of good things out there. Nice people. Oh, really, Rachel? Wow. Yeah, they're good people. Hey, Tiffany. The panty dropper guy, actually, I uploaded that video, and there's a guy playing a sax, and then YouTube blocked the video worldwide. So I don't know. Some people might have saw a couple seconds. So what happened is, I was really trying to show how nice it was downtown Fort Wayne, but I had to switch the audio to a canned version that's in YouTube's platform. So I picked the longest song I could. I don't even know what it is, so it probably is a terrible video. I was too pissed off to listen to it because it takes forever to upload a 7-minute 4K video, and then I had to use some bastardized music on it, which won't make any sense. I don't know what the music is. You're going to see a guy playing a saxophone, and you're going to listen to Pee-wee's Playhouse theme. Pissed me off. I probably should have just deleted it. Oh, thanks, Tiffany. I don't really think I do that good. I don't do that much. I do a little bit. I mean, there's nothing worse than some son of a bitch driving around acting like he's saving the world when all he's doing is giving people a few bucks for lunch. I do not want to be that guy. It's like interesting to me. I get more out of it than they do. Like, I do, but I don't think I'm like, making any big giant changes. I wish I could. I would if I knew what to do. I mean, I help as good as I can. I'm not a professional or social worker I give myself an A for giving a fuck. But that doesn't mean that I'm, really making a lot of headway with, what do you do? It's frustrating. Hey, and people say, people, that's the one thing. It's almost embarrassing, like with YouTube, to have these subscribers and stuff, because it wasn't because any like talent or skill or anything. I just got lucky having people watch my channel. It's not like, believe me, I realize what the difference between luck and if I was some great editor or cinematographer, or I wrote well, or but it's all like on the fly, half-assed. It's my specialty. People actually ask me, it's like, well, what's my secret to success? Which I don't know if you'd call just getting lucky on a YouTube channel success. But I tell them it's because I didn't have anything else to do, which is kind of true. I would be, driving around doing photos, but probably not video. But I like it. It is a hobby. I guess people don't get that. Yeah, that's why I tell people they should do it themselves if they think they'd like to do it. It's really fun, really. You'll find when you go out there and go to interview people, it's not quite that easy. There's not that many around. It's I spent a week in Detroit before and not got a single interview. It's the way it goes sometimes. Oh, the church staff? which is why I'm going to join the church No Panties. Why not? Worth a try. I thought he brought up an interesting point about there not being shelters for men, that there's plenty of shelters for women. It's actually true. It's also true that there are a lot more women getting tossed around than there are men. I think the guy's got a, he's okay. Church with no panties. I am going to get him a bottle of cologne from Gary and send it to him. Now, at the beginning, when he says church with no panties, you think to yourself, this guy's strange. And then when he explains it, he just wants a church where he's helping men that have been victims of abuse. But that all went out the window when I offered him the bottle of panty dropper cologne. Then he fit right into the mold of a typical single male. He wanted the panty dropper, took an entirely different meaning. Oh, thank you, Matt. Oh, Adam's a good guy. Yeah, I like him. Yeah, I mean, it is more time consuming, but like I said, what the hell else would I be doing? I'm burned out doing private detective work. Oh, is that how it goes, Dan? Oh, okay. Well, that happens awkwardly. That does happen from time to time. I can remember when I was living in Dearborn, and BT's, which is like a topless bar that's been around forever. The strippers raised $5,000 or something like that. It was quite a bit of money for tots, for toys for tots or something like that. And they wouldn't accept it because they were strippers. It was some religious outfit, I mean, you could argue it either way. I bet they'd take it in this day and age. I mean, you may not agree with stripping or like it, but you know what? It's legal. And this notion that someone that was in a legal business, just because you didn't care for it, that you wouldn't accept a donation for kids. The donation wasn't for them, it was for the kids. It really kind of turned me off on that outfit. It's up to them what the money they want to accept. Politicians go through this problem a lot. You end up accepting $500,000 and you find out later he's an axe murderer on parole from Australia. It just doesn't bode well for your campaign. But I can remember thinking that was kind of a shitty thing to do. They came up with money for kids and they didn't want to accept it. I'll tell you, if anybody's thinking of opening a fast food restaurant, this is my informal, worthless, get what you pay for survey. The way to go is Chick-fil-A. Anywhere I go to Chick-fil-A, I see one. There's a half-hour line. I mean, the lines at these Chick-fil-A's look like they're giving the sandwiches away. I'm going to get one. I haven't had one, and I had one a long time ago. I thought it was okay, nothing to write home about. And I know they only want you having one location. You're not going to own 5 or 6 like you would with the McDonald's. But as far as a market they've created, you got to give them an A+. They're always super busy. They're nice-looking buildings. And I'm pretty sure Chick-fil-A is closed on Sunday. I think they're Mormons. Which you got to give it to them, man. That's a busy day, and they put their faith ahead of making money, which I got to give them a little bit of hats off. But it certainly seems to be a well-run business. Yeah, detox, yeah. My parents were a couple boozers. I remember my dad trying to quit drinking a couple times. It didn't work. He finally got sent to an old folks home, and that was it. Yeah, that's an interesting question on that gay community. As I said, I can remember when the Cracker Barrel in Belleville, Michigan, this would have been around 84, 83, had a sign, no gays are hired here. No shit, I saw it for myself. So on the gay thing, that's an interesting point because now you look a lot of these denominations. It's kind of a hot potato. It went from get the hell out of here to don't ask, don't tell to I don't think the Catholics will give you communion if you're an openly gay person, will they? Does anybody know this? The Jews probably don't mind. Of course, the Hindus, it's a free pass. That's a good question on the Mormons. That is an excellent question. I mean, if you went and applied for a job and you had a rainbow pin on your lapel, is Chick-fil-A going to find a reason not to hire you? That's an excellent question. Does anybody know the state of affairs with gay stuff and working at Chick-fil-A? That's a good point. Thank you for bringing that up. Oh, good, Greg. Yeah. No, yeah, it does. I mean, that's really, like I said, it's a real hot potato for them. Even in my life, it's $100,000 fine if you're in the NBA and call somebody gay or any derogatory name. I think if things keep going like this, we're going to be getting fined for saying motherfucker in another 10 years, and they're not going to really be able to associate it to anybody particular. It's just going to be a fine. I mean, this world's going nuts. I think you should get a free pass in the heat of the moment when you're pissed. I know people that say stuff all the time. They don't really mean it literally. It's just they're mad. That's the first thing I ask when I find out about a confrontation between someone, an issue. I want to know right out of the chute, were they upset? Because if they were upset, all bets are off. If they're talking this shit during a normal conversation, that's different. But I know people that say one thing and they're really not like that at all. Honestly, I'd say my whole life, I've never met a true racist or a true anti-homophobe guy. I really haven't. They'll make jokes and comments, but deep down, they're just running their big mouths. Look at this cool looking truck. That guy's got a quadruple sleeper. Inner city lines. But you could have a party in that truck. Yeah, they probably will. Yeah, Native community too, yeah. Hey, Rabbit. Yeah, if you got an annulment for $500, you got lucky. That's a lot of paperwork. I'm not defending it, but it's got to go to the Vatican for approval. The Catholics consider marriage a sacrament, so it isn't just like, you got Ellie Mae knocked up at a weekend in Las Vegas. The Catholics, this gay thing there is, like I said, they've really backed off on that. Dolly, can gay actively out of the closet gay people get communion at your church or not? What's going on up there? Yeah. See, I know people in Chicago. I know. I know one couple. I know their annulment was $2,500. I mean, they hang their hat on it. It was a fraudulent marriage. It wasn't a meeting of the minds. It was never a true marriage. I mean, come on. These people have 9 kids. Yeah, ask him that, Dally. Ask him that. Ask him if homosexual out in the open can get communion. Watch him start squirming around and like putting his finger in his mouth and shuffling his feet when you ask him. Because there's no shortage of inter-office memos that these Catholic priests have get about how to handle these things. And they don't want them all forming an independent opinion. So he's going to have a canned answer, and I'm curious what it is. Oh, did you, Rachel? Oh, you're a newbie Catholic. Okay, all right. Yeah. If you haven't given him a heart attack by then, ask him tell him that baby baptism doesn't make any sense to you. That'll get him squirming around too. And full immersion as opposed to just being sprinkled. I got about 5 bullet points that I lay on a priest whenever I get to corner him at a party. Yeah, it's true, awkwardly, yeah. Yeah. Oh, a cradle Catholic? Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Well, you know, that's part of being a Catholic. No birth control. Go on, hon. You want to get down? I think Daisy... I don't think Daisy's liking jumping on this blanket lately. There you go. How's that? She doesn't trust jumping on that blanket. There you go, hon. I'm sorry about that, honey. She wants that blanket off that seat. You know, I'll tell you another one, Dolly. If you haven't finished your priest off by then, I'll tell you another one that'll get him picking his teeth. And the Catholics are not into birth control, but yet they support the withdrawal method, which is what? A form of birth control. She doesn't. She's getting the heebie-jeebies jumping on that soft blanket. Daisy, you know, she won't. There, you know, animals are smart, right? She won't jump on a bed either until she can look it over first. She's just not springing up from the floor and landing wherever. There may be a damn empty dragon's milk on its side. And I noticed, I just put that blanket on there a couple days ago. She's just not too thrilled about jumping over on something where she's not sure what's under there. Well, I've solved the problem because I don't go to church. I'm going to be going to church, the Church of No Panties. That sounds good. Oh, it's huge, Michael. Yeah, big time. Yeah, no, I just do. I figured I can tell the way, you know, I'm around her all the time. I knew when she was staring at that blanket. I get it. Took a few times. I probably should have had it off there the first hour after I put it on the seat. Hey, Terry, how you doing? Glenbrook Square Mall. Isn't that something, Steve? That's that flag that I put in that video over there. Flag flying. Yeah, I bribe her. I sure do. Hey, Budemore. Oh, good. Yeah, I think it's the same thing too. It's, people like we got a pretty good group of people that show up regularly. All the bad people have been blocked and banned and hidden. So it's nice to just get on and like chat with people that, otherwise it's like at least me, I wouldn't talk to anybody for like weeks at a time. Yeah. Hey, Amina, how you doing? Yeah, they've done a lot of studies on this. So, I mean, you can't deny that working from home is more convenient, but, there's a lot of studies both ways. There's studies on the importance of diners and coffee shops and donut shops, and it's that social interaction you have, albeit briefly, and you're saying hi to Sally and Johnny, the janitor, and then you're off to work. And they've realized the impact of this. Humans are social creatures. If you're being alone is discretionary and that you make the decision to do that, it's much different than being alone because no one wants to have anything to do with you. So it's all on how you categorize being alone. LA, you say you like being alone. You like being alone because you've got a husband in the background and you've got kids. And being alone is nice, but you got everything else going on in another part of your life. It's not like being alone if you were an old maid and had no friends. So there's different types of being alone. I mean, if you're alone because no one wants to have anything to do with you, that's different than being alone when you have other options. Bitcoin wallet? I don't have that. I'll check it out though. I don't have that Bitcoin wallet. Yeah. Yeah, well, it's from personal experience. You know who brought that up to me one time is So Tweety, the cruise ship girl. I was bragging about liking being alone. She said, yeah, you like being alone because when you come on and you have a chat and 90 people show up, that's not really being alone. And, I thought, wow, that's probably true. I'm sure if I fired up a chat and no one ever showed up, that this being alone isn't something I'd be tooting my horn about so often. So, there's ways to, it's how it's pigeonholed. I think she's right. A job can burn you out, yeah. That's for sure. And even though, like, Daisy's a good dog, Daisy needed a home. I knew the circumstances. I wasn't looking for a dog, blah, 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 blah. I love having Daisy around. If something happened to her, would I get another dog? Probably not. But I mentioned this the other day. People talk, oh, I don't know what I'd do without my dog. Oh, My dog is everything. Look, I like Daisy. You guys know this, but Daisy's a dog. It's different than a human. I mean, there are pros and cons to it. But I mean, I hear some of these people talk about their pet parakeet, and I think to myself, what a nut job. Well, yeah, but Mary, I mean, there's a silver lining in your job, I think. You know, you're doing the right thing. You're sticking up for your people. You're working in a place where they have a hard time keeping good staff. So, I mean, there's a lot of plus sides to what you're doing. Yeah, I mean, if it's working all right, I mean, you know, I never really like consider, if there were 10 people on a chat or 10,000, it would be just a chat. I mean, if you were into that, like, you know, whole YouTube craze of numbers, and you know, it's just not. I'm not into it. Like I said, these videos I've been uploading basically since I've left, which is coming up on 2 months. Other than the interviews, which really aren't that many of them considering how long I've been gone, I know full well that my video of a flag or of houses in Fort Wayne is not going to be too popular. Yeah, I think though that I think there are people out there that you just don't, you know, hear about that do nice things. You know what I mean? Uh, I think it comes with getting older too. You realize you see injustices, and in your own small way, you can just try to help. So I don't have any expensive hobbies really. So I don't mind doing it. And like I said, I'm getting more and more money through ads. So it's not like really my money. It's money that YouTube gave me. It's not like I'm taking a withdrawal out of my 401k or something. Well, that's a good song. You know, everybody thinks that's William DeVaughn. There's an interesting history behind that song. Uh, he spent his life savings. It was a one-hit wonder. He's still around, by the way. Cassie seems to be doing all right. I mean, I didn't hear from her yesterday, but I heard from her the day before. Oh, you like that, Dally? Thanks. And of course, whenever you put a copyrighted, recognized song, that's an automatic zero revenue. Anytime you hear a song that you like that you heard on the radio, it's zero right out of the chute. You're not getting a penny for that one. And sometimes it even gets worse, like the guy playing the saxophone. That got blocked worldwide. Usually it just kills the monetization, which I don't give a shit. I want to put a good song to a flag. And honestly, it's not like it's some great popular video that you're going to lose a bunch of revenue on because you used a song that people related to. So I don't give a shit. It's nice to see it's pretty busy out here, though. Not as busy as it was yesterday. When the cars are facing me, that's when you know it's busy. But right now they're all sideways. What, did Ted get his feelings hurt or something? I think I didn't even catch that. Somebody was referring to a song. Hey, Barry. How's the weather out there in Mitchell, South Dakota? Hey, Faye. Did you do anything for your birthday? Oh, cold and windy. Yeah, it sounds about right. You could probably say that all winter long and be 90% accurate. Yeah, I'm still in Fort Wayne. Yep, sure am. Actually, I looked on the map last night. I can't go to Ohio. Shouldn't be doing this in Michigan. I'm at the northern tip of Indiana. I gotta make a decision on these tires. I've kind of thought about going home a little bit, but it doesn't make any sense to go home when I get this cheap hotel rate and there's a lot of stuff to do. Why would I go home? Play Russian roulette every morning? Yeah, well, no, I do need tires, but I'm kind of in a jam on this. These tires are shot. That's part of the reason, not a big part, why I went out west. I wanted to finish these tires off. But yet I have 4 winter-only tires at home. But I don't have a setup where I get them free rotation and on, so it's going to cost me $40 to get those winter tires on, which is no big deal. But the problem is, like weather like this, if I had those winter tires on now, it wears the hell out of them. If it's not cold or there's not snow on the ground, it just wears them out. It's soft rubber. So here I got 4 bad tires, 4 that I don't want to put on, and I'm a couple hundred miles from home at a place that has a Black Friday sale. So I'm debating whether or not to just get a whole new set of all-weather tires, good ones. I need some front-end work done too. I wish I could get that all, but I don't want to be stuck in my hotel for a whole day while they do all this shit in Indiana, unless they drop me off at Barnes & Noble, which they probably wouldn't do. You know, in the old days, when you needed to get dropped off or taken home, it was no big deal. Like, forget that anymore. They'll tell you to go get an Uber, which I probably would do. Uber, whatever they call it. I've never taken one of those. So I got a decision to make, but I've been so lazy. I'll probably wait until we get 9 inches of snow and I won't be able to get out of the hotel parking lot. Well, that's one downside of this Astrovan. Idler arms and tie rods. It was just a weak link. This thing, I'm running this baby till the end. I like this van, and I got that Toyota in the garage, but I don't want to like give this van up until I have to. I was actually looking online for some Astrovans. Anybody ever sees an Astrovan? They've really went up in value, by the way. They keep going up and up because it's such a kick-ass van. This one's all-wheel drive, so I don't mind getting another set of tires on it. I'd like to at least get 500,000 out of this, which would be like 2 more years. I got 392,000, I think now. 394,000 on this. I just wish I'd go into this Bell Tire and they were super friendly and I say, hey, so you got a Black Friday? Yeah, we do. It's like they say 300 off for some tires. I'm not that big of a bargain hunter, but that's one of the things I just hate blowing money on, like tires. I don't know why. It's not like I can brag or go to a topless bar and say, hey, look at these new tires I just got. There's nothing in it other than going to A to B. So if I went to the perfect place and they were friendly and I said, hey, I need some idler arms, which are kind of expensive, tie rods, like to get some new shocks. Can you do all that today? Yeah, sure. Do you need a ride back to your Red Roof Inn? Yeah, I do. Now we're talking. It's like, no problem. Put it all on. It would be such a great feeling to spend the whole day in Barnes & Noble and eat my lunch at P.F. Chang's, and then I get a call and it's like, your van's ready. And then I just look at it and I got all new front end, all new tires, and I don't give a shit if it snows or not. That's my dream. I'm aspiring to that scenario. I'm dreaming again. Yeah, honestly, I mean, I like that. I like that conversion idea, but an Astrovan, in my opinion, is too small to convert. There's not that much space, even with the middle seat taken out. Yeah, I don't like the big used vans either. You know, that's the problem. There's a Mexican Indy 500. No, he's not under doctor's care. He's still forced to work, Mary, because he doesn't have a fever. This is a perfect place to sit in the morning, I'll tell you that. I normally can't sit still this long, but I can here. I had to put air in my, another thing too, I had to put air in my right rear tire this morning. That'll give me something to worry about. I had to spend $1 at the Shell station across the street, and it's an idiot-proof compressor. You could hold it on there until the dollar runs out and you still wouldn't take your forehead off by putting too much air in the tire. Translation, it took forever. Now, this is my college degree paying off again. I'm thinking to myself, the air leaked out of the tire, right? I don't think somebody's sneaking up in the middle of the night and letting 8 pounds of air out of my tire as a gag gift. So, what would make me think that the 8 pounds of air I put in there this morning are going to stay in there? Nothing. I'm not a total idiot. So now I got a right rear tire I can worry about. I think it's a high pressure leak, which means that once it loses the 8 pounds of air that I just put in it, it doesn't get any lower. Yeah, I will, Craig, yeah. I mean, getting tires is no problem. The problem is getting them done in a reasonable amount of time and not having to kiss somebody's ass to get them rotated at another location down the road. That's my problem with Discount Tire. They're always busy as hell. And you go in there and you're from like 300 miles away, and it's like, yeah, I want to get my tires rotated. They look at you like a redheaded stepchild. It's like, well, today's not really a good day. It's like, yeah, you know, it's never been a good day. I've already driven these tires twice as long as I was supposed to, because every Discount Tire I go to says you're too busy. That's part of the deal when I bought these tires, so I get free rotating. I didn't think I'd need to plan 2 months in advance. And then I got a bad attitude. I want to avoid that, so I don't go to Discount Tire anymore. I don't expect a big hug. Oh, you're here to change your tires. Great. Let me take this revenue-producing tire sale and put it on the side while we dick around with this old van for an hour and 15 minutes for free. Yeah, I just went to that Starbucks. I'm right out in the parking lot right now, the McDonald's. Yep. Have I ever? Yeah, that's where I'm at. Yep. Right at the... It's right there. Yep, right behind me. No, they don't need to come off now, but well, nowadays, because of safety, you can only rotate them front to back. You know, because of these steel belted tires. You know, Astrovan, I mean, it's a heavy ass, it's on a truck chassis. It's a heavy ass van. You know, tires are complex. You know, on a heavy van like this, all-wheel drive, you need like big-time sidewall strength. It's not a pussy tire. It's a man's tire. I got 4. I'm thinking out of the box. I'm thinking, you know how you have these little coffee shops that you get a coffee? I'm thinking about open one up with COVID and just get it out of the way. Come on over here. I'll give it to everybody. You don't need to worry about getting it. You got it now. You'll build up some immunity. Let's get it on. COVID, $49. No, you're right about that. Wedmore, you're exactly right. That's the weakest link in a towing something, a trailer, is the tire. Yes, you will get a discount. Oh yeah, Pip, that's it. Yeah, dreading it. It's such a pain in the ass. Discount tire, yeah. That's the same. Yeah, wait till you try and get your tires rotated. They look at you like you just robbed a bank. It's like you could hear a pin drop. Slap their forehead, look down, act pissed. Yeah, I don't want to go through that bullshit. Yeah, just get it out of the way, man. $49. I bet I'd have lines as long as Chick-fil-A. They're all home reading the Bible now instead of deep frying chicken tenders. Hey, Davey. They used to have a big antique store in Noblesville. I don't even know if it's there anymore. I mean, it was well known. This is pre-internet days, and it was even around then. I was going there 20 years ago. No, I know, Dan. Hey, Deborah. Yeah, that's a good question. You know, I'm just kind of a little burned out. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing today. I've been getting a little bored lately. Oh, I like Muncie. You got a hell of a camera store there, too. It's a nice camera store you have. I like Muncie. It's beautiful downtown. Indiana really had it going on with these squares they put. The problem is they're cost prohibitive to maintain when an economy heads south. So back when, you know, the country was printing money and the aesthetics was the #1 goal, it was a good idea. But you look at places, even like Fort Wayne, to maintain those buildings downtown, oh my God. I noticed driving around here that Fort Wayne has some bridge problems, particularly with the railroad. And I'm sure there's sleepless nights wondering when they're going to have to bite the bullet and pay for these. Because it's crazy money. Oh, sorry about your mother, Indy. I didn't know that. Sorry about that. Oh. Well, you certainly had a rough year. I'm sorry for that. Laid off, mom died, holidays, COVID. God damn. Hang in there. Can I send you a bottle of your favorite wine? I'd be glad to do it. You could use a drink. Yeah, I bet it does, man. You sit around and you wonder, like, this is not my first piece of ass day. This is like really depressing. You compare it to good things that happened in your life. And then what the scary thing is, you wonder when the other shoe's going to drop. Yeah, Tennessee Mountain, we see him. Yeah, I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but that kind of stuff didn't bother me that much. I didn't even go to my dad's funeral, to tell you the truth. It's probably why I'm just out taking photos in strange cities for the rest of my life. I wasn't rubbed enough as a baby. You into wine, Indy? You got a favorite beer or something? I'll have you a nice bottle of wine sent to you. Oh, sorry about that, Wedmore. I don't mind doing that. Send you a nice bottle of wine. I don't expect something I send somebody to like take care of their problems, but there's a 5-minute period they got something from a stranger that they feel good about. And in the case of a bottle of wine, you could drink the whole bottle. It works. Yeah, I don't mind doing it. You send me an email on what your favorite liquor is. I don't care how much it costs. Your wine, a favorite wine, or maybe you want the little miniature bottle so you can just get tanked with something different every night of the week until you start feeling better. I don't mind. Send me your name and address, and I'll be parked outside your bedroom window tomorrow morning. I'm just kidding. Yeah. No, I'm the same way, Davey. I know you're thinking the same way I do. Yeah, you're exactly right. That's a good question. Yeah, don't pick out a good bottle of wine too. I didn't know shit about wine until I met this guy in the town I live in, and he's a wine connoisseur. He tells his wife to sleep in the spare bedroom while he cuddles up to his favorite bottle of wine. I mean, this guy's really into this shit. I didn't know about sulfides and aging and corks and the glass and the wine and the grapes and where they come from and all this bullshit. But there really is quite a science to it. And once you get turned on to good wine, you become a little more cultured. Good cheese, the same way. Once somebody gets you into this and takes you by the hand and shows you the difference between a bottle of Boone's Farm and a $65 bottle of French wine, you'll appreciate it, and there's something to it. I'm not saying you got to get rip-roaring drunk, but to fine wine, there's something to it, you guys. It's not bullshit. I knew it was going to be a joke, the Tyson Roy Jones. The biggest damage that came out of that, I knew that was coming. And anybody that asked me what I thought, I told them, and they went and got it anyway, and they all texted me this morning saying they should have listened to me. And that's only from being around years, appreciating boxing, knowing what happens to guys as they get old. But actually, those guys will never be looked at the same. They're just looked at as like a couple old, out-of-shape fogies, and the mystique to the lore of their athleticism is out the window now. Mike Tyson got big bucks when he would go around doing speaking engagements. And I guarantee you that's going to head south now after he's lowered the bar. When you got Snoop Doggy Dogg doing the commentating, you know you're in real trouble. It was a total clown fest. I watched the highlights and I knew in the first 10 seconds. I didn't even care what the outcome was. Yeah, I got that email. Thanks. I'll do that. That list is daunting to go through and change. I will go through there and do it though. I will. No, not professional at all. But you know, it wasn't to begin with. You know, the sports world was kind of sharp about that because anybody with a half a brain realized that you didn't want to connect that to legitimate boxing in any way. So you called it an exhibition and blah blah blah. Yeah, I like him too, but not as a boxing commentator. And the guy that used to play in the NBA that won the dunk, that Nate, that won the dunk contest, about 5'10", hell of an athlete. But it goes to show you, fighting is a science, and you can be athletic as hell and still get your ass handed to you by a nobody. And he could have got hurt doing that. He ended up getting knocked out. And he's not a young guy. I mean, that definitely was not worth it. And they let him get up again and get knocked down again, which is just not cool. There had to be a sacrificial lamb in that fight, and that was him. Yeah, it's too bad. What's that guy's name that he was in the NBA? He's a hell of an athlete. He was in the football team too. I think he went to Washington. Oh my God. Oh, sorry about that, LA. Wow. You're right, Chris. He's not. He'd never make it as a legit boxer. No, he actually sucks. He's not a professional caliber boxer. You're right. Hope I'm not getting dementia. I just realized my hat was inside out. You guys, my hat was inside out. Yeah, everybody says that, Andy, but it isn't like you think it is. When it really comes down to looking the Grim Reaper in the eyes, it's not easy. Yeah, thank you. I feel better. Oh, thank you. I feel better. You should have been a psychologist, Mary. Yeah, when I reached up to the top and I felt the like stitching, I knew I was in trouble. You know you're in trouble when you're talking to a waitress and she asks what I've done for my life as a job, and I tell her a private detective, and she looks at me like I'm crazy. I guess I just don't look like one, which I'd have to agree with. I have people come out of nowhere, I'll be getting gas, I'll be getting a bag of Cheetos to go with my Dragon's Milk, and they'll say, how many miles are on that van? Or is that a cat on your dash? Oh, we'll check it. I'll check it out. Oh, I feel better already. This is good news. Hey, Pretty Peaches, how you doing? No, I never did. No. Yeah, I guess it would be, but I always dread that conversation because the first thing that comes out of their mind is, well, it sounds so interesting. Oh, 76? Oh. Oh, thank you, Erna. Thank you, Rachel. I couldn't find my damn tire pressure gauge today. It should have been at the bottom of these masks. I don't know what happened to it. Shit. Is that what they're saying? The wine has low levels of radioactivity in it? Great. Oh, thank you. Oh my God. Yeah, I worry about all these trips that I've taken, or a big waste of time if I don't remember them all. They'll be showing me my interviews and saying, does that voice sound familiar? It's like, no, it doesn't. That's you. Oh, come on. Then I'll argue with them. Yeah, Columbo was good. He was a hell of an artist, too. You ever look at his art? I'll tell you who else a great artist is, Ronnie Wood from the Rolling Stones. Look up his art. I mean, really good. Yeah. Hey, Frank. Oh, I hope not. Nah, I didn't think he was a good artist. It was that abstract, like crazy clown stuff. Actually, I know a guy he was friends with that had a bunch of that. All those guys, their art goes for crazy money, even though it's not that great. John Wayne Gacy and, his clown paintings, they were kind of childish. It wasn't like what you consider fine art. It's just because they were lunatics that it gained popularity. William Gacy, all those kooks. What'd you think about that, Patricia? Yeah, but the point here is, if it wasn't Kevorkian, it wouldn't. You couldn't have sold it in an 8th grade art fair. What's that pogo nip? What is that? It's like 45 here or something like that. It's supposed to get to 52 or something. It's crazy. I guess it's supposed to be kind of crappy tomorrow and the next day. Man, you can't complain, man. I mean, on one hand, look at the grass is green. People be out cutting their grass today. This is nuts. I mean, I like it. It's cool. It's fun. But it's also very weird and scary. That's a good idea, Davey. Yeah, Peter Falk's art's good, yeah. Yep. I mean, there's a difference between like real talent. When I was going to college, I knew some people that were into art major, and their stuff was crap. I mean, that's just like being great at sports or singing or whatever. Either you have it or you don't. Yeah, I'm not a big Impressionism fan, but it's still good art. It's crazy, Georgia, how cold it is down there. Wow. See, Detroit finally fired the general manager and the coach, thank God. At least they had the decency to wait till after Thanksgiving. It's the Mexican Indy 500. Yeah, I've been all over Ontario. Yep, sure have. Love it. Oh, the Lions are terrible this season, which is why they both got fired. Hey, Jeff. Yeah, this is a main Coliseum, it's called. It's like the main drag. There's everything on here. Anything you could ever want. Topless bars, bookstores, good restaurants, coffee shops. I mean, what's left? Yeah, I don't blame you. It's pretty good. It's a nice little mall too. These Barnes and Noble are the small ones though. Neither one's that great. There's one Stevens Point down the street, about 3 miles. Same thing, like not that great. King Gyro. That King Gyro is the coolest looking restaurant I've ever been in my life. The stools, the way you face the street, the how you order, the parking lot. Looks like something in a movie. King Gyro's where it's at. When I was doing my laundry at the laundromat, the guy told me to go to the downtown one. I'm glad he did, because it's better. And I couldn't find the other one. My GPS took me to a Shell gas station. Wow. No lockdown here. Are you kidding me? This whole state's probably going to be dead. You're in Indiana and say, do you have a mask? They say, what's a mask? It's party all night in Indiana. That's why I'm here. Everywhere else, I got chased out of. Lexington, Ohio, Michigan. I mean, I'm teeter-tottering about staying down here until after the shutdown in Michigan's over. I mean, why go back there? Why don't you just put me in a giant bird cage and hand me a cuddle bone? Be a human being trying to live the life of a caged parrot. Fuck it. I mean, these hotels are all dying. Nobody's traveling. I'm staying at this Red Roof Inn in a king-size room for $43 a night. I mean, I'd have to be crazy to go home. But I'm a little bit bored. And I got a shit ton of stuff to do at home. And I want to get another King Gyro. Yeah, it's cheap, man. It really is, you know. I'll tell you a funny thing. You're going to laugh at this. You guys will appreciate this. So, you know, these places are losing their ass. This is a huge Red Roof Inn I'm at. They must have, I don't know how many rooms. I wouldn't doubt they have 300 rooms. It's giant brick. Well, they're trying to cut expenses. They don't want to do room service every day. I get it. No. Well, I always give a pretty good tip to the ladies. And whether they clean it or whether they don't. And once in a million times, Daisy will be in the room by herself. So I went over and got some bag of Cheetos or something at the Shell gas station. And evidently that was a day they weren't going to do complete cleaning, but I'm sure they want this $10 tip, so they do a little extra for me. And they go in there and they'll give me a stack of towels. Just little bullshit. I mean, who wouldn't want a $10 tip if you're a cleaning lady? I don't mind, right? You could clean it or not clean it. I'm giving you a $10 tip. So anyhow, in the 1 in a million chance I leave Daisy in the room alone. Well, Daisy's an aggressive dog if she doesn't know you. She looks like a little foo-foo, but you don't want to be going into a room if she doesn't know you. I mean, so I leave Daisy in the room. I'm going to be gone 10 minutes. I run across the street to get a bag of Cheetos, which I eat about 5 times a year. I don't know why I've been wanting them lately. Must be missing some kind of chemical in my brain or something. And I come back, and as I'm walking down the hall, I see like a big bag on the doorknob. And I thought to myself, I bet that looks like it might be my room. So I get up to the door, and it is my room. And it's a bag of clean towels in a plastic bag put on the doorknob. And in a second, I realized what happened. Even though it wasn't a full-fledged cleaning lady, this lady probably likes that tip, and she wanted to make sure that I had some clean towels. And she went waltzing in there to put these towels on the bed, and Daisy came screaming off the bed. And she probably slammed that door and thought, I'm not going in there with that damn dog, and hung those towels on the doorknob. And I couldn't help but laugh. Yeah, but it gets a little warm for her up there sometimes, you know. So now she's on the seat. She's got her old pig ear. Yeah, it's so funny. I had a guy, I was meeting a buddy of mine for lunch, which I hardly ever do. And a guy that I know, I don't know, I think I found his long-lost cousin for him or some shit. And he wanted to buy me a bottle of wine, so we were eating in this restaurant. This guy had enough etiquette to not come in there and interrupt. So he saw my van in the parking lot, and he went and he was going to put this bottle of wine in my van. And he did do it, but barely. He texted me later on. He said, that goddamn dog of yours, he said, it looks like it's just a little fluffy dog. He said, I almost got bit. I thought the van was empty. He said this dog was sitting on the dash and jumped off the thing and barely missed biting me. He said, what's wrong with that dog? Yeah, she is like that, you know. He wanted to know what was wrong with the dog. Old Daisy lays eyes on a stranger. Yeah, she does. Yeah, I do check. No, it wasn't. Nope. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. It's funny. She gets to know people. It takes a while. If you first meet Daisy, you can't pet her. She knows she's not supposed to bite people, but you'll go to reach down and she'll back up. And then she'll hang around like 4 or 5 feet. It takes a while to get to know her, and then just something kind of happens and she decides that this person's all right. And sometimes it'll be months before I'll see people. Like you see around Marguerite and Becky. She knows who they are, and that's fine with her. She recognizes voices. You know, I'm not sure what kind of dog Daisy is. My guess would be like Shih Tzu and French Bulldog. That'd be my guess, something like that. She's real muscular in the chest and barrel-chested and bow-legged, but yet her behavior is kind of very Shih Tzu-ish. You know, she always wants to be near you. She guards the bathroom when I'm taking a shower. Very protective, and she likes to. One characteristic, they like to smash their face into your hand and get scratched behind the ears, and she does that a lot. So I think Shih Tzu for sure, and I'm not sure what else. No, I checked the seal, believe me. Hey Brenda, how you doing? Yep. Yeah, I wonder what goes through her little mind a lot, how she deciphers things. And she likes to chase things. She loves being chased. But like that blanket a little earlier. Now, she's been on and off that blanket, but she just does not feel comfortable jumping on top of something that she can't see what's underneath there. And like I've got my video camera and my 35 millimeter camera. I keep them right down in the middle and to the back. So in case I see something, I can take a photo. She's an expert at not stepping on those, stepping around them, whether it's jumping down or jumping up. So, I mean, she's coordinated as hell. Yeah, that's how Daisy can be pretty aggressive. She's like way better than she was at the beginning. I couldn't even touch her for 2 weeks. I had to get welding gloves. And there's no way you're taking her to get her hair done someplace because they got to put a muzzle on her, and then she's got a really hairy dog, thick hair. So if you put a muzzle on her, that's 20% of the haircut, the face. That thick hair, and it's hard to cut, and she's moving her head. So, you know, even if I wanted to, I wouldn't do it because it's too traumatizing to her, and she wants to attack everybody. But once you put that muzzle on her face, you know, 20% of the haircut's not getting done. Yeah, welding gloves, yep. She quit biting those the first day, but, you know, I'd try and like pet her on the back gently, and she'd growl and look at you. No, barely sheds at all. This real fine hair in the spring. You know, kind of like dust bunnies you find around your furniture legs. It's not a lot at all. Nope, not much at all. Yeah, you know, I'm not really sure. My neighbor got her through Craigslist, and We went up during a snowstorm in December in Gaylord. I remember a guy pulling a trailer of snowmobiles spun completely around in front of us. It was snowing like a son of a bitch. I had the Astrovan, so I was kind of looking forward to it. Went off the side of the road, the door opened, and two of the snowmobiles flew out. So we met this family. It was $25 for Daisy. I felt they were driving a Ford Taurus with bald tires. And three of the cutest kids in the world, no seat belts. And we met them in the parking lot of Target in Gaylord. And they said that Daisy, she had a baby, and that Daisy was jealous. And you could tell Daisy looked possessed right then. I remember telling my older neighbor, don't put your face near her. So she let the lady pick her up. We got a bowl and a leash and all those kind of things. Gave her $25. And the lady wanted to get a egg salad sandwich at the hen house in St. Helen. So we stopped there to get lunch. And I had a little crate for Daisy. And when I came out, I wanted to pull up the van to get the older lady so she didn't have to walk. And when I did that, Daisy had gotten out of the crate and she peed all over my seat. And when I tried to grab her to put her back in the little dog crate, she tried to bite me. So I ended up forcing her into the crate with a snow shovel. So it didn't start out very good between me and Daisy. And it was an old, aggressive lady that, you know, she was used to training dogs by hitting them or yelling at them. So she took Daisy home and tried to do that aggressive, alpha dog game, and Daisy bit her in the leg and bit her in the hand twice. So then she called me over, and I tried to pet Daisy. She tried to bite me, and Daisy was peeing all over. So I went to Home Depot and got some welding gloves. And then, of course, this old lady thought she'd be cuddling up with a dog and companionship. Well, it's not how it was working. So over about a 2-week period, I calmed her down, finally got to take the gloves off, and it worked out okay. But after a year, I still took Daisy for walks, and I gave her baths because this older woman couldn't do any of this. So Daisy get out sometimes and come down and scratch on my door. So, I had a good relationship with the dog the whole way, and when she had to go into a place where you couldn't have pets, and she said, I want you to have Daisy. It's like, I don't want Daisy. I mean, I think she's a good dog, but I just had to put these miniature greyhounds to sleep. I don't have a pet. I don't want her. And they looked for somebody to take Daisy, and they had a hard time, so they were going to take her to the pound. I thought, well, you know what? I'm not allowing that to happen. I don't know what happened with the people she came from. Here she, lived a year with this older woman. I'll take her. So that was like, 6-7 years ago. So that's how it happened. You couldn't offer, there's no dollar amount you could offer me for Daisy. No way. I wouldn't take it. I swear to God, you could offer me $50 million. I wouldn't take it. I'd rather have Daisy. It's like the greatest dog ever. Super smart. Oh yeah, I tried. Well, at the beginning when the older lady had her, Daisy's got a lot of thick hair. We took her to things, and they said, we're not doing this, cutting this dog's hair, no way. Even the vet, they wanted me to give her a tranquilizer. I'm not doing that. So I finally went to a vet. It's like, the vets have changed now. They got this bullshit. You go in there now. In the old days, at least where I go, you could like hold your dog and they'd give it the shots or whatever. Now they want to take it off with some gloves, and 20 minutes later they're dropping your dog off, and they did all this stuff to her, behind closed doors. I'm not doing that. Doing it like that. You're not just grabbing Daisy, and you better have a face mask on. And I don't think it's necessary that you got to take her in a room away from me. So I'll keep going to different vets. And I finally told the vet, I'm not doing this. This dog is like a little off. And I don't like her getting picked up and carted off after I'm the one that brought her there. So either I hold the dog. If you feel better, I'll put a muzzle on her. I'll hold the dog and you give her the shots. But you're not scooping her up and taking her off for 20 minutes. Not happening. I'll go to another vet. Oh, do you? Wow. There's somebody else drinking their coffee. It's a perfect place to sit. If I owned this McDonald's, I would be pissed off that everybody parks here to drink their Starbucks coffee. It's a giant parking lot. I don't even know if you can. I bet you can't eat in that McDonald's. I think it's all drive-through, which is why they're probably not pissed off. You know, as I've told you, I know quite a bit about a McDonald's because my sister was the first single female to own one. But I guarantee you this is a high-volume store. I wouldn't doubt that. I would say this. I bet this McDonald's could do $6 million a year gross sales. Locations, everything. Yeah, it's a good question. I'm kind of iffy on what I'm going to do. I got this tire thing in the back of my mind. I really don't want to go home because there's nothing to do. It's cheap to be out on the road, although I'm coming up on 7 or 8 weeks I've been on the road. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'd like to go where there was like a different kind of action, like a train that caught on fire or a freighter upside down and people sitting on the top trying to get rescued. I'm a little bored. Hey, Malka. I'd say if you gross $6 million, the owner should be pulling out about 450 grand, 500 grand for that location. Yeah, they're a moneymaker, but you know the good locations have been gone for years. If you own a McDonald's in a small town, you basically bought yourself a job. Yeah, I got a lot of books to read. I will read them. Yeah, I will. You know, that sounds like a good idea, and I will eventually read them, but just going back to a town where there's nothing to do, no indoor dining, and I'm sitting there just reading these books, looking out the window, you know, I want to come and go and do fun things, not just read books with nothing to do. There's no good places to eat where I live. You know, I've photographed every fucking squirrel and crow that flew by for the last 10 years. So check. It's not a kick-ass winter storm that I get to experience. Check. So, you know, I'm kind of in a dilemma. Not a bad problem, believe me. I could be home with a 450-pound wife and 2 kids that couldn't read or write that never planned on going to college. So I'm lucky. All right, Dolly. Wish the best to John. Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. I probably won't. Just because, you know, I spent a whole month there and I still have 2 big boxes of stuff to hand out. And you're not supposed to be doing that. I'd have to check up on the fine details of Michigan because I haven't been there in a couple months. It's so much easier. If you look on a map, I'm in Fort Wayne to go up 69, cut across to 75 and go home and just skip Detroit. And I don't really, I mean, I do abide by the rules. You know, if they don't want you out there doing that shit, well, I'm not going to be doing it. That's why I'm not in Ohio and I left Kentucky. I mean, yeah, I hate to do that to Goodwill. I mean, you know, people send this stuff. They're exciting on doing a good deed. I don't want to be that kind of asshole to have somebody go to the expense and trouble of sending a bunch of things. And then they see me dumping them off at a Goodwill. They could have done that for a lot less money. So I'm trying not to do that. So far I've been hanging in there. Oh, thank you, Dan. Yeah. All right, Sassy, take care. Yeah. Yeah, COVID thing, you know. Yeah. Yeah, I don't care about my home address. People seem to like really freak out when somebody knows your address. I don't give a shit about that. It's easy enough to find somebody's address now through a million ways. Uh, you know, that's something that doesn't really bother me. You know, somebody sees it, you wish they did, and it doesn't mean they're going to come and chop your head off in the middle of the night. You know, in this day and age, I mean, people are worried about everything. Oh, really? No, yeah, COVID's everywhere. Yeah. Yeah, it's everywhere, that's for sure. Mexican Indy 500. I think it has, Chrissy, yeah. I think it's raised anxiety, yeah. I think it has. Yeah, it's all talk, though. Anybody that makes threats like that, it's all bullshit, Mary. Nobody says it. You know, they're all a bunch of talkers. If somebody's really interested in firebombing your house, they don't bring it up to anybody. They slip up there at the stolen car or a stolen plate and they firebomb your house, and that's the end of it. People just talk a lot of bullshit. Hey, Philip. Hey, Philip, are those pharmacists still laughing about the masks and knowing the truth about COVID over there? Is the light bulb finally come on? Yeah, I try to avoid them, Chrissy. Oh, did he? Yeah, it wasn't that busy down here. I didn't think. I mean, I guess they're packed compared to normally, you know. Well, I'm covered on that, cat. Yeah. No, they're old. They got to be replaced, which is no big deal in weather like this, but it is a big deal if it gets snowy or icy. So I'm debating whether or not I'm going to do it or not. It's not paying for it's not the problem. It's just the bullshit of going through it. Yeah. Yeah, I looked up that Carly, that newspaper girl, news reporter. She's a hustler. They're crazy, A. Smith. Amen. Yeah, I had a few pit bulls. They were great dogs. Stay there, hon. You good girl, honey. That's my baby. You stay there, honey. Stay there, hon. That's my baby girls. That's my daddy baby. That's my good girl, hon. That's my good girl, honey. That's my good Daisy. I gotta get my damn. Now I've been drinking this protein powder that I mix up with water. I don't think I'm getting enough vitamins. Yeah, how's Carrie West Bay doing? Yeah, Michigan City. Is that antique store there in Michigan City, just north of the expressway? Is that still there? There used to be a girl that ran that named Kira. And the last I was down around there, we were building some kind of hospital complex right there on the corner. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, freighter traffic is down because of steel production. There's not any really good place to see them in Gary that I know of. Yeah, I used to be into antiques. Yeah. Now the only antique thing I have is a girlfriend. Well, it looks like this phone's getting a little weird. You guys hear me at all? I think my camera's getting stopped. Well, I think I'm going to sign off here, guys. Looks like this camera's stuck. It's a car that went by 20 minutes ago. So you guys have a good day today. Yeah, it's good. Pretty good. Not as good as the one in Indianapolis, but good. Okay, guys, you have a good day. I'll get on here later if I can. Goodbye, LA. I think this is about ready to go south anyway. Yeah, it was good. Well, it was. I'd give it a B plus. Yeah. All right. See you, Mary. Yep. See you, Faye. I'll check your singing out, Patricia. Oh, thank you, Amos. Amethyst. Yeah, it's easy to be a PI. Super easy. Most states. It's easier now to be a PI in Michigan than it was when I started out. Yeah, it's super easy. I'll talk to you about it. Just send me an email. I'll give you a call. I'll give you all the details. All right, you guys have a good day. I'm going to go get a King Gyro. I got to see if they're open on Sundays. Indy, if you're still there, send me your address. Send you a bottle of wine. Tell me what kind you like. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, okay, Dan. Sounds good. Yep. Oh, yeah, those drugstores are anal about that. That's part of their marketing shtick. See you, Pip. Yeah, good idea, Bull Bronco. I'll take that off there later. I'll change that. Yeah, no problem. All right, you guys, have a good day.